time. When we look at a clock, we see the numbers 1 through 12, which represent the hour and the minute. We see an hour hand, the shorter of the two hands, and we also see a minute hand, the longer of the two hands. The hour hand and the minute hand work together to show us what time it is. When the minute hand is pointing to 12, the minutes are 0, so that's when we say o'clock. Look at this diagram for example. The diagram shows the minute hand on the 12 and the hour hand on the 4. The hour on this clock is 4 o'clock. We skip count by fives the numbers around the clock to figure out the minutes. When the minute hand moves from one number to the next, that means that 5 minutes have passed. The minute hand will go the whole way around the clock in 1 hour. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour, and there are 30 minutes in a half hour. This is an analog clock. Look at the shorter hand, the hour hand. It's pointing to the 3. This tells us that the hour is 3. The longer hand, the minute hand, is pointing to the 1. This tells us that the minutes are 5. So we would read this clock as 3:05. This is a digital clock. The first number is the hour. This clock is telling us that the hour is 3. The second number is the minute. This clock is telling us that the minutes are 5. It is also showing the time 3:05. In the analog clock, the hour hand is between the 7 and the 8. This tells us that the hour is 7. The minute hand is pointing to the 10. If we skip count by 5 10 times, we will get 50, which is the value for the minutes. The analog clock shows 7:50, and the digital clock also shows 7:50. Let's take a look at the hour hands in the two analog clocks from above. I extended or made longer the hour hands to show you the placement. The hour hand moves throughout the hour as well. The first clock shows the hour hand pointing directly to the 3. It is on 3 because it is just past 3. The second clock shows the hour hand more than halfway between the 7 and the 8. It is more than halfway between the 7 and the 8 because the hour is more than halfway over. However, we are still in the 7 o'clock hour. Quarter and half hours. We use quarter hours and half hours to tell time. To better understand this, let's divide the clock into quarters and halves. You can see that the 0 and 30 minute marks are where the clock is divided for the half hour. You can also see that the 15 and 45 minute marks are when the clock is divided for the quarter hour. Notice that each quarter hour is 15 minutes long and 2 quarter hours equal 1 half hour. Each half hour is 30 minutes long. Telling time after the hour. To tell time after the hour, we can use after the hour or past the hour. If the minute hand is pointing to the 3, we say quarter past or 15 minutes after. If the minute hand is pointing to the 6, we say half past or 30 minutes after. If the minute hand is pointing to the 9, we say 45 minutes after. We usually used past the hour for telling time up to the half hour. After the half hour mark, we often say the time as before the hour. Telling time before the hour. To tell time before the hour, we can use before the hour or to the hour. When we are telling the time before the hour, we count the minutes to the end of the hour. We start from the minute hand and skip count by fives to the 12 or the end of the hour. If the minute hand is on the 6, we say 30 minutes before. If the minute hand is on the 9, we say quarter to or 15 minutes before. Notice how I said 3 as the hour, even though we are still in the 2 o'clock hour. We say the next whole number because we are counting the minutes before that hour or the minutes until the next hour. Let's look at more examples. Notice the position of the hour hand in these analog clocks. Since we are more than halfway through the hour hand is more than halfway between the numbers. When using before the hour, we can look at what number the hour hand is closer to. That number will be the hour that we say. This clock reads 20 minutes before 7, or 6:40. This clock reads 10 minutes before 4, or 3:50. And this clock reads 5 minutes before 3, or 2:55.